Hello and welcome to Ibuzz. I'm your host Nosheen Bukhari, bringing you some views, reviews, and tributes in today's episode. First things first, let me quickly take you to the top stories of the day. A new series from the Obamas aims to teach civics through music. Taylor Swift asked to quit David O. Russell film over his violent behavior. Sony Pictures' Peter Rabbit 2 continues to rule UK's weekend box office. COVID insurance worries lead to Nostalk Festival cancellation. And previously unreleased Prince song Born to Die is released. And now moving to the top story of the day. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, tops the UK's weekend box office as it continued its marvelous run into the second week. For discussion, we have TV presenter Anna Marie with us. Anna, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So Anna, ever since the film was released on May 17th, it has raked in just under £7.5 million. Do you see the exceeding chances for Peter Rabbit 2?
Yes, absolutely. Right now, we are coming into half term in the UK, so that means that kids are not at school. We've also had a few bank holidays, so there's a lot of family time. So I believe that a lot of people are going to be heading to the cinemas as they've just opened. They're so excited to get back out there, and I definitely think Peter Rabbit will be at the top of their list to see.
Right, and yeah, also Anna, congratulations, and it is very good to see and to know that movie theaters in UK are finally reopening. How is the audience response so far? Is it that, you know, they just want to go out and see every movie, or they're still, you know, working by the pick and choose methodology?
I think people are picking and choosing. I think mostly for families, of course, Peter Rabbit 2 would be top of their list to go and see. But people are still adjusting to normal life because we've been in lockdown for a very long time, since the start of the year. So it's a mixed feeling. Some people are like absolutely ready to go for it. Some people are still adjusting. I personally am still adjusting. But I am planning to go to the cinema more often, and you know, make sure that I'm getting back into the film life. But I do think that people are just excited overall and are probably waiting for something amazing to come out. Of course, Peter Rabbit is a great nostalgic film, and anyone who is an adult would have read the books as a child. So it's a great nostalgia and a thing that they really want to take their kids to go and see. But I think people are probably waiting for something a little bit more active, maybe like a James Bond, so that they can really go out and fill up the cinemas.
Right. And with Peter Rabbit, talking about the movie, its appeal among adults and children, the film pocketed an estimated £2 million in the ticket sale just over the weekend. Does this mean that after the reopening of theaters, family movie genres have brighter chances of business than any other?
I do think so, because a lot of people have spent, like going back to the lockdown thing, a lot of families have spent a lot of time indoors. So I think to create some form of normality for their children, they want to bring them to those films. And of course, adults, like I love a good children's film. I go to see children's films for myself, not for kids or anything. Just because I have a personal attachment to the film. I love Peter Rabbit, and I've seen the first one, so absolutely I was going to go and see the second one because, you know, it's got a warm place in my heart. But in all, I think adults just want to get out more than the kids, to be honest.
Right. And with casts like James, Margot, Gleason, and Rose, who are already known for their fun and comedy angle, do you think that it was the cast actually that was attractive enough to bring the moviegoers to theaters?
Well, James Corden is very popular. Of course, he's a British actor, comedian, and TV host. So we have a relationship with him already. So that can play a huge, huge part in bringing in the views. However, I don't think children really care about that. It's more so for the adults, because you're going to have a comedic element to it.
Yeah.
But Margot Robbie, very popular actress, that could play a part in it, because a lot of people did love her previously, maybe in like Wolf of Wall Street, etc. But I think the majority of people just kind of wanted to see the follow-up, and it was released at the right time, because May 17th was when we were allowed to go back into cinema. So it was probably like, let's just go and watch this.
Right. And I would like to know your views. The movie has been, mainly very warmly received even by the critics, saying that Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, is just the film that is needed after lockdown. So what are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely agree. I think we've been in very dark times over here. Well, globally, we have been in dark times. And you need something like Peter Rabbit 2 to just pick you up. It's witty, it's funny, it takes you on a journey, and it's relatable as well. So it's good for all ages. And I absolutely agree that it's something that you need. You don't want anything heavy. You just want something that's going to make you laugh, something that's going to make you smile, and give you a good pick me up. So I absolutely agree with that.
Right. And viewers haven't been lucky to watch enough animated movies during the pandemic. More focus was on superheroes, action, or even Netflix and Amazon Prime seasons. So do you think that this was a fresh breeze for animated movie culture?
Absolutely. It has been a long time since we've had a movie of that scale been released. Like you said, a lot of people have been watching Netflix and Amazon because that's all we could watch. Where there's a lot of reality stuff. Maybe Netflix doesn't really have that much superhero stuff, but more, I would say, grown content. But this would definitely changes the face of movies, because people can see that there's a demand for it now. Families want to take their kids out. Adults just want to have a good time regardless of the film. We just want something that will make us smile. We did have Cruella come out as well the following week, which is doing all right, which I'm planning to see Cruella, because I watched 101 Dalmatians, so I think it'll be people my age going back down the route of nostalgia just to see some kids, their films from their childhood.
Right. And Anna, talking about the concept, how different it was in your opinion. I mean, we did not see that surprise element in the human characters for those talking animals this time in Peter Rabbit 2. So how did you find this concept? I mean, do you think that there was something missing, or do you agree with the fact that, trying to make people familiar with the element of developing their feelings towards animals? So how did you see this concept?
I was okay with not seeing any humans or any human interaction, because it's a film about a rabbit. So I rarely expect to see humans. But it was just a nice bit of escapism, really. It wasn't something that crossed my mind. I do understand why people would say, oh, well, where are the humans? But it's more about the adventure that he goes on, and, his story, and the characters around him, the other animals around him. So and I just think it's a little bit more beautiful that way. We don't need humans interfering with anything. Just let the animals enjoy themselves.
Right. And also, in your opinion, does one get the sense that Will Gluck and the co-writer Patrick have managed to capitalize on the criticism directed at their first film and responded accordingly?
I think so. I personally think they've done a really good job. I mean, there are always going to be critics who say that it's a waste. People are going to say that, oh, it was underwhelming. I think that they, in the time that we're in and the date that it was released, I think it was a perfect way to to introduce the second film. So I think they've done a great job. Even like the coloring, the way that it looks, I think it's a fantastic film.
Right. Coming to the critics' review, some of them seem to be very disappointed. They think that Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, seems that author grappling with turning the bunny story into a grotesque exaggeration of itself in order to reach a larger audience. What is your take on that?
I don't think so. I think that they, in terms of maybe making Peter Rabbit seem a little bit more human, and a little bit more of a well-rounded character, I would say that. But I don't think it was a grotesque portrayal at all. I think if we think about it logically, Peter Rabbit's probably grown up over the years from 2018 when the first film was released, to when I was reading the books back in the 90s. So he's developed over the years, and I think the film portrays that, he's not just one way. He is a little bit cheeky, he is a little bit naughty, he does want to go on an adventure. So that's perfectly fine. That's a little bit more enjoyable for me.
Right. On the other hand, some of the critics thought that it could have been another Paddington. I mean, they were comparing the storyline, or their expectations were those compared to the Paddington ones, but they seem to be disappointed. On the other hand, we see that people, when they find similarities between these animated characters, they don't find the movies very interesting. So what is this contradiction in your opinion?
I think just maybe as adults, we might expect a little bit more from the characters. I do understand why people would be a little bit disappointed with the film, or they might feel a little bit underwhelmed. But I think in the grand scheme of things, it's a children's film, so it's targeted for children, maybe older children as well, and then adults will come along for the ride. But I understand comparing it to Paddington and other films like that, where you kind of expected a little bit more, because you have your own personal attachment to the character, so you're expecting to go in and be amazed. I remember going to see Lion King, the remake, after seeing the original Disney one, and being underwhelmed and being like, wow, I expected a little bit more from this. But I understand that times are different, technology is different. They've adapted it to appeal to the newer audiences, and some people will appreciate it and some people won't.
Right. Anna, wonderful discussion. Thank you very much indeed for being with us.
Thank you.
That was Anna Marie with her thoughts on the new Peter Rabbit movie. And now moving to other story details of the day. A delightful new trailer is here for We the People, an animated musical show set to air on Netflix, executive produced by former President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle Obama. The show combines music and animation to educate a new generation of young Americans about the power of the people. The show was created by Chris Nee and, along with Obama's, was executive produced by Tanya Davis and Priya. Pop icon Taylor Swift was roped in recently by David O. Russell for the upcoming film. However, the singer's fans aren't too thrilled about the new gig. Fans are urging her to give up the role in the untitled project owing to the director's history of unpleasant behavior on set. Netizens dug up an old statement by Hollywood star George Clooney about working on a film with Russell being the worst experience of his life. The singer was the latest addition in the star-studded film, which has already roped in a number of big names. Reportedly, Swift will be joining Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, Rami Malek, John David Washington, Zoe Saldana, and Mike Myers. The organizers of a music festival have called it off for the second year running and said there are major issues for the UK festival season. Nostoc was due to take place at a farm near Bromyard between 21st and 25th July. ELA said there was uncertainty over government-backed COVID cancellation. insurance, and problems with the supply chain. The event has a capacity of 5,000 and tickets had sold out. Ms. Nosworthy told that economically they cannot keep pushing on without this in place, especially with production costs rising every day and recent reports of increased cases and a possible delay to the roadmap. Previously unreleased Prince song Born to Die has been released. The Prince estate has shared the second single from the upcoming album, Welcome to America, following the release of the title track in April. The late music legend, who passed away in April 2016 at the age of 57 from an accidental overdose, recorded the slow number in 2010, when former President Obama was just a year into his first term. A press release states that Prince was reflecting deeply on the issues affecting the Black community and the role he hoped to play in the social justice movement. And that is it from the newsroom. We will be right back after a quick short break. Stay tuned to find out more. Welcome back. It's June, the birthday month of everyone's favorite actor, Johnny Depp. Born on June 9, 1963, Johnny Depp is best known for his versatility, and so in this segment, we will pay a tribute to the living legend. Joining us for discussion today, we have Matt Capon, who is a film critic from UK. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So Matt, starting from Nightmare of Elm Street, do you think Johnny Depp had been lucky right from the beginning?
Johnny Depp was very much one of those rising stars from the 80s. I mean, I remember him from the TV series 21 Jump Street. He was very much a star of his time, and I think Nightmare on Elm Street was really the beginning of a really big run of success for him as an actor.
Right, and let's talk about his remarkable performances that turned into unforgettable characters like Edward Scissorhands, Willy Wonka, and then Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, and of course, Fantastic Beast. So yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, he has this innate ability of portraying characters that become iconic. I mean, Jack Sparrow, he is Jack Sparrow. The line has blurred. You can't think of Jack Sparrow without thinking of Johnny Depp. I think it's almost indistinguishable between the two. He has this ability to channel a quirkiness, which really, I think, explains why he's always worked relatively successfully with Tim Burton. The two of them just seem to go together really well.
Exactly. 3 times Oscar nominee, 10 times nominated for Golden Globe, and even being a winner of one of the Golden Globe Awards. The actor has also aced it as a producer in projects like The Rum Diary and Hugo.
Yes, he really understands his craft, and he's very much of almost an old school way of doing things. His ability, as I said, he can turn his hand to a variety of different things, both in front of camera and, as we've seen, also behind camera as well. I mean, Rum Diary was a really, really good film.
Right. And to fans' surprise, Johnny is also a guitarist and has worked in a lot of musical projects as well. He has performed with Manson, worked with Oasis and Aerosmith as a guitarist.
And let's not forget, he also featured in one of Tom Petty's music videos as well.
Exactly. I would like to know your take, Matt, on the allegations that Johnny is undergoing now, exclusively with respect to those of his ex-wife, Amber Heard, and how it has affected Johnny's career.
It's been a very awkward and a very difficult situation where you have someone whose celebrity has brought him so close to the public's heart. As I said, his charity work as Jack Sparrow visiting children's hospitals has gone viral with just cause. But what's happened between him and Amber Heard has really made it's tainted their legacy within the public eye, seeing just how dysfunctional and angry both parties are. Not a lot of people now really want to touch him, and you can understand why. Just look at what's happened with Grindelwald.
Exactly. But in your opinion, do you think that Warner Brother did the right thing, and do you think that this cancel culture is doing justice in the name of women empowerment, where the allegations have still not been, proved against the actor?
I think Warner Brothers really didn't have a choice. When these, at the point when it first came to light, they started to escalate quite quickly, and you can't really have someone in the middle of what they were hoping would pan out to be another successful franchise based on the world of Harry Potter. It really wasn't going to wash for the public, so I don't think they really had many other options other than to take him out of the series.
Right, but at the same time, we're seeing support coming from J.K. Rowling for Johnny Depp.
Very true, but J.K. Rowling herself, particularly within the UK, isn't without controversy right now, where her comments are attracting a lot of scrutiny. And while I think it's very good that the writer, the author, and indeed the creator of the world is coming out in support of Johnny Depp, as we've all seen before, film studios do act quite quickly to protect their properties. So, as I said, I don't think there was any other option for them in their mind.
Right. With the struggle in both his personal and work lives now, do you think that Johnny still has a chance to make a successful comeback?
Well, we've seen with many other actors that they will have a renaissance where they will suddenly return back to the public spotlight for a portrayal of a character or a story that lights everyone's imaginations. But right now, Johnny Depp really does need some success in the box office. We haven't seen a successful Johnny Depp film along the lines of Edward Scissorhands or Sleepy Hollow in quite some time.
Right, and in your opinion, coming back to his acting skills, in your opinion, were there any characters which you think that Johnny, as Johnny Depp, was not supposed to have them done because they did not suit him well?
I think there have been several. Johnny Depp's ability to turn his hand to characters has always been very good for the quirky characters. But there are other roles. His role in Murder on the Orient Express was very left field. I don't think it really suited him. If anything, I felt he was going through the motions.
Right. So Matt, let's talk about his movies. Your 3 top favorite movies by Johnny Depp, and why?
Well, the favourite film has to be Edward Scissorhands. It's iconic. And it's not just iconic; it's timeless. It is a timeless story that I think will always be held fondly by the cinema-going public. It's a great film.
True.
I would then say Ed Wood. Ed Wood, I think, is a really fun exploration of a very famous B-movie director. I thought that was incredibly engaging, and he has a lot of fun with it, as you can tell. And I'd have to say Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I think, is a really strong example of just how far Johnny Depp can push his acting abilities up on screen, and it's a really engaging little romp.
Right. And although, the versatility that he carries makes him capable of playing both as a hero and villain. So in what form would you always like to see Johnny? I mean, is it that you always want to see him as a hero and you approve of it, or you like him when he plays as a villain more?
I would go for a third option and say I like it when he's the anti-hero, when he portrays a character with heroic qualities, but you're never quite sure where exactly his head's at. I think that really suits Johnny Depp, and again, is the sort of portrayal which you expect from a Tim Burton film. Right.
And any expectations for him of winning his role back in Fantastic Beasts? Do you see any silver line?
I would hope that he's learning from this process, and that it hasn't put other studios off from working with him. Do I think he'll return to the role? I don't think so. Warner Brothers don't have form for that.
Yeah.
But that isn't to say that he's become a bad actor overnight. He hasn't. It's just that there is a lot of baggage with him now, and hopefully he's able to move on from that in his career, as is Amber Heard.
Right. So yeah, we also wish him all the best and happy birthday in advance to Johnny Depp. Thank you very much, Matt. It was a great discussion.
Thank you.
That was Matt Capon, and we were paying a tribute to the birthday boy, Johnny Depp. And that is it from today's episode. We hope you liked it. Don't forget to share your feedback on the social media link mentioned down below. We will see you next time. Until then, take care and goodbye.